Welcome to the office. Welcome to the office. So, what brings you guys in for Alina?
Constipation.
Constipation. What does that mean? It's a
Can't
big
poop.
word.
Can't poop.
How long you can't poop?
For a year.
Excuse me? You haven't pooped for 1 year?
No, I have did, but I took some like pills.
So you did a suppository.
Yes.
And the suppository allows you to go to the bathroom and poop.
Yes.
Okay. And you've been doing that for a year.
Yes.
And how often do you have to use a suppository?
Often.
Often? Every couple of days? Every
Pretty
day?
much every time I get constipated really bad.
Okay.
And sometimes we do enema or just very strong laxatives.
Okay. And is there an answer for this? I'm sure you've gone to the doctor, your primary GP, pediatrician. What do they say?
She has her on a daily X-Lax and lots of constipation.
That's treating the symptom though. Has anyone found a cause of what's going on?
No.
Mom? No? Okay.
They don't know. They say she's backed up, but they don't know why.
Did they do any tests, any blood work, any
Yes.
stool samples,
Yes.
any of that?
Her white blood cells are elevated, but she says, I'm not worried about it. Everything looks good. She just keeps on using X-Lax. And then we'll see you in a month, and nothing changes, and your
That's-
stomach hurts. So,
And it's been about a year now.
yeah. And
Mhm.
lots of crying and lots of,
I know, and it's not fun.
yeah.
Yes.
And when you're hurting, you can't play and enjoy.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got to figure out some things.
Yeah.
And the way I work on these types of issues is I look at the nervous system. And when we're looking at it, I'm going to explain it to you because I really want you to understand what I'm doing, okay?
Okay.
And how we're going to hopefully be able to help you. And we'll know within a couple of adjustments if it's working or not. Food-wise and water intake. So going like peeing is okay, she can,
She actually pees a lot, a little bit too much.
okay? And it's probably to get rid of the toxins that's not able to come out through the...
Probably. She does drink a lot of water.
Soda? Juice?
I drink soda and juice sometimes, and then but I drink water often.
She's very mature.
Yeah.
The way she even communicates, I like that. Okay, so you're drinking fluids, you're
Yes.
playing. Are you playing?
Yes.
You play any sports?
No.
What do you do for activities?
I pretty much just play with art, make paper dolls.
VR. You're on the VR a lot.
Yeah.
VR?
Yeah.
No outdoor activities?
We hike.
Sometimes.
You do hike?
We hike.
Because part of my homework is you've got to do at least 8 to 10,000 steps a day. I make my daughter do 8,000 steps a day minimum. Actually 10 because her 10 is like my 15, so.
Sometimes I do jumping jacks in the morning,
Okay,
and sometimes I run.
Mom, she needs to walk, okay, with what we're gonna do. Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna change anything in diet, I'm not gonna be giving her any supplements or pills or any of that stuff. The way I'm gonna look at it is we're gonna look through the autonomic nervous system. And what is the autonomic nervous system? It's those nerves that control all the organs in our body, okay? And when we're looking at constipation, is this a sympathetic or a parasympathetic? Are things slowing down or speeding up? They're kind of slowing down. So we need to we've got to speed things up to get elimination happening.
Yeah.
But it's wherever we find it. Now, that's the only issue, main issue?
That's the main issue.
Okay,
yes.
so we're going to focus on that. Okay, so let me do this. Let me go over your x-rays. Let me explain first what I see on the x-ray, then we'll do the exam, and then we're going to figure out where we're going to start. In her scenario, we're not going to mix systems, and what do I mean by that? Let me go over to this chart.
Yeah.
And there are two nerve charts here. This is the spinal nerve chart. These are the nerves that control all the muscles and joints on the outside of the body. But there's also the autonomic nervous system, and these are the nerves that are the system that controls all our organs. And within the autonomic nervous system, we have sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is in the middle of the body here. And in the Gonstead work, Dr. Gonstead found that from C6 and down, is sympathetic, from C5 up is parasympathetic. Parasympathetic relates more to digestion, okay? In the low back, sacrum, this is the parasympathetic, L5 up, this is the sympathetics. So why I'm saying that is I may find something up top, in the middle, and the bottom. If that's the case, we have to pick and decide on the system of which one we're going to do. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go over your x-rays.
The GI doctor says that at one point she was so backed up that her intestine became large. And right now...
It became distended, yes, it stretched.
And our idea is to shrink it.
How?
By taking a bunch of laxatives and make sure she goes every day. But even with that, she cannot go every day,
Got
no
it.
matter what I do.
I want to talk about a third nervous system. I forgot to mention this, and this is kind of important. It's cool knowledge. So we talked about the spinal nervous system, or what's called the peripheral nervous system, the spinal nerves. The autonomic nervous system with sympathetics, parasympathetics. There's a third nervous system I forgot to mention, and it's not really talked about. It's called the enteric nervous system. And when you take the enteric nervous system is when you take the gut basically is surrounded by nerves, okay? And if you take the number of cell bodies in the gut, in the stomach, in the small and large intestines, it is equivalent to the number of cell bodies in the brain. And so you know how they say that gut feeling? Well, there's some truth to that. So when we're looking at, again, back to digestion is, we want to make sure that all the nerves going to the organs of digestion are doing their job. So let's go over here and look at this, okay? This is her full spine. This is looking at her from behind. This is the right side. This is the left side. This is her side profile. And we're going to go over the side profile first and see what we see. Now, the good news is, I mean, her spine looks pretty darn good here on this view. The posture looks pretty decent here. Pretty good, actually. Really good, actually. Her discs are all good through the lateral curves. Now, here's what I'm seeing, and it's down in the tailbone. And this is good news because this is early enough. So Dad found me, and Dad did a good job by bringing you in early. I know she's had a couple of tailbone injuries, okay, whether that was recent or way back when. And the first thing I'm seeing is S1. This is S1, S2 is back right there. It's open, the disc is open. It's like the whole segment is tilting back. I don't know if you see that. It's open in the back here, closed in the front there. Now if we go down further, so this is S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. S4, S5, there was even a fall. So she's had at least 1, 2, 3 falls, and even this one too. So these are not sitting right, okay? So the tailbone is 5 segments that fuse later on in life. She's young enough; they haven't fused yet, okay? And that's part of what system? Look, parasympathetic, sacrum. Where does that go?
Intestine.
Where else? Can you read this?
Rectum.
Large intestine, rectum, kidney.
Isn't kidney responsible for fluid? And if there's not enough fluid in there, what happens? Constipated. What else is that? What's that? Bladder. She's peeing a lot more, right?
Yeah.
So all of those symptoms you're describing come back to the parasympathetic and the sacral plexus. Okay? That's what I'm seeing there right off the bat. As I go up the spine, this is good. These discs are all good. I mean, she has an almost textbook neck curve. I see a little bit happening at C2 possibly. Okay, C2 is a little bit wedged on the C2, maybe C3. This is good. Let's go down C2, C3, C4. This is a perfect level disc of C6 on C7. 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe starting at 5. Do you have any breathing issues? Do you get any shortness of breath, anxiety, any of that she gets, right?
She does. She calls them panic attacks. So.
Yeah, and that started when?
When do they start?
Usually they start at night where you start thinking about so much stuff that I just get up and I just start breathing really hard, stuff like that.
Do you know what grade that started?
I think in third grade.
Last year, right? Last year.
Yes.
Before the constipation or after?
I think before.
Right before. Okay. Do you remember what fall you had on your tailbone, on your butt?
Yes.
Tell me.
3 times. Well, first I.
3 times?
Yeah, 3 times. I fell on my tailbone 3 times. So I tripped over my mom's computer cable, and I fell directly on my butt. And the second time I was in the playground, and I accidentally slid too hard, basically just like did like that.
Okay.
And I hurt myself, and that kind of gave me an ouchie for like the rest of the day. And then the exact same thing happened again with the cable.
And then the tree.
Mom, we need to move that cable, okay? Please, can we move that cable? I'm just saying.
Yes.
Let's
There's
continue. Let's
One
continue.
big one actually is when Diddy bought her a VR and she decided to climb on the couch and accidentally walked off the couch.
Of course.
Yeah.
Come over here, let's continue. Now, let's look at the A to P. And the first good news I'm going to say is, so if someone tells me digestion issues, regardless of, I'm looking at the Megan Blasi, and she has a perfectly beautiful Megan Blasi right there. Dad, you've heard my videos.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard me talk
Oh, yeah.
about this. This is a perfect Megan Blasi. That's not the issue. She has a pretty tilted pelvis here. It's dropped on the left side, and it's causing this curvature to occur here, okay? As it goes up, her body is compensating. And the good news, like I said, is you brought her in early. From whatever fall she may have had, she does have spina bifida right there. And the good news is it's still early enough that we can hopefully help her with that. You can see all this. This is all her constipation right there. Okay, that's the heart to protect the ovaries that we put. Okay. Now let's go to the numbers of the AP, and this is all going to make perfect sense now. So she has a 10 millimeter drop on her left pelvis, rotated sacrum on the left, and it's dropped 3. Now the question becomes this, is if we fix the sacrum, we bring it up 3, we're at 7, we need to get that under 7. And when I'm looking at the shapes here, these things are forming a little bit different, okay? We don't have rotation as such so much of the pelvis, but if we look, these are still growth centers. It's still forming. These are growth centers right here. And I took a low x-ray on her here just to get the numbers. Later on, we can look and see after treatment. A few visits, we'll redo it and see where she's at, okay? And then we can look better at the growth centers there.
Okay.
So what I see this as a sacrum case, okay? This is a parasympathetic case. C5 and up we talked about. So I'm good if the C5 does show up, and I'm good on the sacrum. It's probably where we're going to start. We'll see her for a couple of adjustments, 2, 3 at the most, over a 2-week period. But it all depends on how she sets. Okay? Depending on how she sets, then we'll go from there, and we'll take it visit by visit. Okay? Up to 3, and then we'll decide from there. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay, shall we get started? You ready? Yeah?
Sure.
Alright. I'm going to be running this meter on your back, and this is just like 2 fingers. You're going to feel this, okay?
Okay.
It's just a temperature meter of your spine, and it's going to tell me where the problem is. Okay? Nice and easy. There it is.
I am concerned whether or not the VR headset might be causing any problems.
You probably don't want to do that as a variable right now. I need her to be a kid and be outdoors and walk and play the best she can, okay? No, just hiking right now, walking.
Yeah, we do a lot of hiking.
And it's probably going to be hot out there, but you like the heat? Yeah. So I got C5 left side. There it is. There it is. S3. left side, S4, maybe even that S5 is where we're going to start. Wow. Okay, cool. I'm going to just feel the bumps on your back here, okay? You're going to tell me which one hurts the most, okay? All good. Come back slowly towards me. That's 5. That's S1. That's a little tender. That hurts more, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes, but let's keep going. S3, does that hurt too?
Yes.
S4. Okay, does that one hurt down there, that's 5?
Not much.
Okay, how about that one?
Kind of.
Kinda. So let's do that again. I'm right there, okay? S5, right there, or right there? The bottom one. This
That
one, or that one?
That one.
That one, okay. Okay, the up one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's S4. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. That's S1, S2, S3. That's what she's feeling, S4. And on this, if we go here, we want to torque that up. We want to bring it up on that left side. And the left side is where the sigmoid colon is that goes to the rectum. So that's where the backup is on this side right here. Because that's where it doesn't come out. Sigmoid colon is related to this left side, S4. Okay, let's check up top. I need you to sit on a booster. Stand up. Yeah. Sit back, sit on top there for me. And let's do static palpation in the back here.
Okay.
Cool. Head down, please. I'm just running my fingers down your spine just to get an overall feel. I would expect more inflammation in her spine here, and she doesn't actually have it there.
Drinks a lot of water.
Well, that is one blessing. You know, I know a lot of kids who don't drink water, they don't like the taste of it.
Yeah.
Scoot back for me, please. All the way back. Okay, and I'm just checking your neck. Sit all the way back, I'm just checking. Look up and down. Up and down. There you go. There you go. 6. Head down, please. 1, 7. Tender right there.
Mhm.
Tender there.
Yep.
Tender there.
Yes.
Tender there.
Mhm.
They're all tender, aren't they?
Mm.
I feel that one. C5. C4 is tender, 3 is tender, 2 is tender, all the way up to 1, but it's starting at 5. And that makes sense with what we see up there. Okay. Stand up for me, please. Let's watch the walk. You're going to face the corner of the room.
Okay.
You can see the right dimple is up, the left dimple is down. That's the offset. Go ahead and walk to the corner of the room back. Yeah, that left dimple doesn't move up. Keep walking. Walk towards me. Give me a high five. Walk to the corner of the room. Watch her left dimple when she walks. It doesn't move up. The right side moves, the left side doesn't move. Okay. You ready?
Sure.
Let's do it. We're going to do S4 as a PL. We're going to go right side down over here. This pillow is too big for her, so let's take the pillow out and just lay your head there. You okay there? So, you okay there?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna pop me?
Am I going to pop you?
Yes.
I pop bottles. I crack jokes. I set bones. You like that? That's funny. Yeah. I'm going to set your sacrum, yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's a little different the way I do it.
Okay.
But again, this is the important of why I talked about the autonomic nervous system and sticking into one system, in this, especially in this case. If I drop you, I send you to Hawaii, okay? Deal?
Mhm.
That's my deal with everybody. I'm down at 4. S4. And I'm going to place my leg here just for a second.
Oh.
Gotcha. That's it? Oh, no.
You okay, Mike?
Come on up.
Yes.
How'd that feel?
I have no idea.
Walking out.
I did not feel that at all.
Uh-oh. Keep walking.
Any
Turn
different?
around. Hold on. Come back here. Turn around. Come back here, please. Alright. And tuck your gown in. Go ahead and walk. Okay, come over here. Let's go face down. There it is. Got her? A little more. That's it. Let's do one more. Come over here, please. You still okay, right?
Yep.
Left side down over here. Now, what's happening is I'm bouncing off the spine. It's very bouncy. So when that's the case, I need to actually do her neck and come back to her low back, okay? Sit up for me, please. And C5, let's get a listing. C5, we're going to set as a PLS.
I feel like you're gonna pop my neck.
Left ear down, down. Good. There you go. Nice and easy. Walk it off, please. Walk it up, walk to the corner of the room and back. Walk again, please. Alright, go left side down over here. We're going to do involved side down as a push. Relax there, let it roll. Nice and easy there. Good. There you go. Come up slowly and let's walk back. That wasn't so bad. Turn around with this. And let's walk to the corner of the room and back again. One more time. Okay. Back over here, let's rescope. Let's see what we got. Sacrum is clear. Let's check C5. C5 is clear. It's a different set than what I expected, though. Let's feel. Interesting. 5. 1. I'm going to get to 2 afterwards. 3. Different?
Yeah, much different. It's not more pain.
Smooth. Wasn't a big crunch. It was just a slight little pop, just where it needed to. But the interesting part is I did it 3 different ways to get it. And I didn't expect it to be light, I expected a deeper one. But that's what, look, all the way back, check it out. Good?
Yeah.
Now, let's check up top one more time. So by the way, I told you I pop Sprite bottles, okay? I pop Sprite bottles, I crack jokes. We set bones here. You got it?
Yes.
All right. Sit back for me, and I'm just feeling, okay?
Okay.
Check it out. Back slow. Let's put the booster chair, stand up. I'll let you tell them, okay?
Mhm.
All the way back. Different.
Yeah.
Just throwing me off today. You know what? You surprised me today.
How?
You actually surprised me. You taught me a big lesson today.
How?
And you know what the lesson was?
Nope.
My teacher taught me this a long time ago, about 22 years ago at a seminar. And there was a doctor who was getting adjusted by a bunch of other doctors in Texas. And, you know, they were all getting nice, deep, crunchy sets, but it wasn't fixing his neurological issue, which was hand numbness and pain. Sorry, radiating hand pain and tingling in the fingers. And this one of the mentors was visiting there with all of us. We were at a seminar, and he went to check him at lunch, and he set the guy. It was a C6, I think it was. And the doctor spoke at the seminar after and said, "What's different?" He goes, like 40-50% of my symptoms are better. He goes, but the interesting part was there was just a little click. It was really interesting. It was just a little click. It wasn't this big, huge crunch or big, huge crack that we were expecting. And maybe that was the problem. We were expecting something. We were expecting to find something. And we can't judge. We have to go with what we find, how it sets, clear the pressure, and now let's see what happens in the next 2 days.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
Tell them. Different?
Different. Very different.
Yeah. Does it feel different when you walk?
Walk.
Mm,
Let's see.
okay.
Pain is less for sure.
It's not different when I walk, but it is different when you press on my
Oh, it doesn't hurt anymore. Okay.
no.
How about sitting on the floor? Sit on the floor?
Sure.
You didn't have pain sitting though, right?
No.
No. Okay. So the main thing is the constipation and the spinal pain. Okay, that's where we're going to start. High five. I'll see you in about 3 days, okay?
Okay.
About 3 days.
All right.
Okay.
Good.